So we're back here with another video, man. Today we're going to be talking about something a little different, something that doesn't really ever get talked about, but something that definitely can be a W, and that's going to be card art, man. We're going to be talking about card art in NBA 2K25 Myteam. So obviously, card art is the picture that they decide to use for the background, and then the player picture that they decide to use for each card. I think card art in 2K is something that sets it apart from games like Madden Ultimate Team and some other card collecting game modes such as that. I think 2K definitely has the card art portion down. Some of the cards definitely look really, really dope, man. So we're just going to be kind of going through some of these sets and talk about some of the W's as far as card art that we have seen so far. Well, that we did see in NBA 2K25 on my team, because we're not going to get any pack drops now. But yeah, man, without further ado, let's get into it. There's not much to talk about down here. The Gems of the Game card art, though, is definitely kind of a W. Like I would say, I think that some of these cards do look pretty dope. Um, and a lot of people do not like the Gems of the Game concept. I don't mind it. I kind of hope that maybe it does return in some form or fashion next year, just as long as we have a base set besides the NBA Series 1 sets. So, yeah, but now that we get into Season 1, man, before we do start going over all these sets, please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new, and leave a like on the video, man. That is always very, very much appreciated. So if we go into the Full Throttle set, the first pack drop of the year, this card art was a little bit mid. Not the biggest fan of it. Of course, we have the kind of flames or like an explosion or something in the background there. We've got like, it looks like a shot clock, maybe trying to do like a speedometer type thing too behind LeBron there. But overall, kind of mid card art. I'm not going to go through it anymore. Not the biggest fan of that set specifically. And then we get over into the 3-point royalty set. This is kind of a little bit mid as well, but we're kind of looking at like an old royalty sort of theme, which I mean it is a 3-point royalty set, so obviously, like kind of like a gold, like fancy picture frame type looking thing. Kind of mid though. I would probably put, both the Full Throttle and 3-point royalty somewhere in like a C tier if we were doing a tier list. Let's do that. For all these sets, we'll say what tier we would put them in, kind of to make it a little bit more interesting. And then we move over to the Power Surge set. Again, really nothing special here. We got like a lightning strike type thing going on with like some orange like shock type thing. I don't know. I think this one's more like even like the D tier. Wasn't the biggest fan of this Power Surge card art. Although this Curry card, he does look pretty dope. Kareem card, I think the player picture they chose for Kareem here looks all right. So, and then we move into the 90s edition. We had a bunch of these kind of sets. This card art's pretty sick. Maybe somewhere in the B tier. We've got like kind of a they're trying to go with like some old like TV screens back there, some like glitch type pictures. There's a lot going on with this one. There's no doubt about that. We got a boombox back there. So, not too bad. I mean, still not really anything too special, I don't think. Then we move over into the Ironclad set, kind of looking for like an Iron Warrior type theme here. A little bit boring, but not too bad. I think this Jordan card looks kind of dope. But yeah, maybe C or D tier for that one as well. Not the biggest fan. Now, this NBA All-Star history. You might think, this is kind of a little bit boring. I think this is a little bit of an underrated card art here, man. I think a lot of people would actually probably say this card art kind of sucks, but I mean, it kind of looks like a real card. Um, I like kind of just the theming of it overall. All of these cards in the All-Star jerseys, I kind of like it when they do that. It's not their team jerseys, of course. Some of these ones you do have them in their team jerseys, but some of them, like they even got a USA for Kuzma here, which is a little bit weird. Why is that not an All-Star jersey? But like this Dame card, looks pretty dope. Don't really have any complaints with that card art specifically. This barbecue bucket set was kind of a little bit memed on when it came out, kind of a little bit of a meme type of name, kind of a little bit of a laughing stock as a promo name. But overall, with the given promo name, they definitely killed the card art, man. We've got a little bit of a grill going on in the back there. We got some flames coming up from the bottom. Not too bad. would maybe throw this in like the C or B tier. Then we move over to the Dukes of Dunk, and this is kind of starting. This looks similar sort of to the 3-point royalty almost, and they kind of overdid it with this type of theming with like the gold, like almost like royalty castle. Like there's a lot of sets that use this type of theming, and it kind of gets to the point where it's overdone a little bit. One thing that kind of does redeem this card art a little bit is the actual castle on the bottom there. You can kind of see the two towers surrounding Zion here. Yeah, so not too terrible. Maybe the C or the B tier. If you guys haven't realized this already, this is totally just a, joking around type of video. Like, this isn't serious at all. But anyway, let's keep going here. We got the Dunktober promo. This is a promo that has returned time and time again. I think we saw it in 2K22, 2K23. Probably did. Oh, yeah, we did see it last year because there was like that Diamond Luca. That was when I was actually playing 2K24 before it got abysmally bad. But yeah, just because of the fact that this has kind of been overdone a little bit, I'm going to go with maybe a D tier on the Dunktober promo. We move over into another decade set. We've got the 70s edition. We got a little bit of a disco ball going on. We got some records going on. A little bit of the flowers in the background, kind of a hippie type theme. We got Artis Gilmore with the afro. We got him rolling, man. This goes straight into the S tier. There's no doubt about that. They absolutely killed it with this 70s edition greatest era card art. Major W there. I got nothing to say about that would shine it in a negative light. So we're going to go with a W on that. Now, this stealth mode promo, I kind of like the little bit of the black and white aesthetic going on with the players. I kind of think that it just looks really clean overall. Nothing crazy going on, but they got the job done, man, with this stealth mode set. I think we're going with like a B tier on this. There's also this card in this set, this stealth mode Trae Young. This card is really dope, man. It seems like he's kind of like almost extinct on the auction house. This is a holographic one. This is a card I've kind of been looking for all year. We're going to go ahead and cop this stealth mode Trae Young, man. Because I've wanted this card all year, and a holographic one, I'm probably never going to find that again. So we're going to hold on to that card, and I would say in a few weeks' time, we might have the last holographic stealth mode Diamond Trae Young in existence. So, I mean, I'll take it, man. That's a W. We move on to Season 2. Oh, we didn't do the rewards for Season 1. Apologize for that, man. But I think overall for reward cards, I think they did all right with this Season 1, man. I think this T-Mac card looks pretty dope. Move over into just the base kind of Season 1 rewards. These are kind of a little bit mid. I think the T-Mac card definitely outshines. And, of course, this was the one that you had to pay for, so makes sense. And then we move on to Season 2. We'll start with the rewards this time. We've got the Season 2 reward Tyrese Halliburton. Very horrible card. But the card art here, man, this looks dope. We got a little bit of like almost like some brush stroke type stuff going on with the pink and the blue on the bottom. Not really any complaints there from me for the Season 2 rewards. Now we've got Poetry in Motion here. We're going to kind of go with a little bit of a sketch theme with the players themselves. So it's not actual pictures. It's kind of like a sketch. We got a little bit of black and white going on in the back. Kind of a little bit boring though here. So I would throw this probably like in like the C or D tier. I think they're trying to go for like almost like looks like a superhero like comic drawing, but I'm not really too sure if I'm feeling all that, man. I don't know. I don't really know about all that. And then we got NBA's back. Really boring here. I mean, they did kind of go with the red in the background with the arenas red and everything. That makes it a little bit better, but really mid there. We're going to go C tier with that. Top of the class, we're kind of back to this like gold theming, which we're going to see a lot. Not royalty though. It's kind of just like gold, but I don't even know what the point of this promo was, kind of getting away from the subject of card art. I don't know why these guys are top of the class. I don't really, understand the whole... This promo is kind of just confusing, to be honest, and the card art, kind of a little bit of an L. So I'd probably throw that in like the D tier. Here we have another S tier, though, man. The Hoop Invaders card art. Look at how dope that is. I mean, that kind of goes along with the theming of my channel, so there's a little bit of a bias there, but I love planets. I love outer space. Absolutely killed it with this. I got the UFO going on in the background. We got some pink neon. We've got some turquoise kind of colored neon going on, and the Zach Levine player picture kind of has those colors going on. This is the best card art we've seen so far. Easy S tier with the Hoop Invaders. And then we go over to Dia de los Muertos. Man, we've got the we've never gotten a pack drop before for Dia de los Muertos, so that is a W. I think they kind of killed it with this card art, man. I think this is another S tier. Not as good as the Hoop Invaders, but I think that these cards in this set look dope. I think the colors are dope. I think that the skulls are dope. I don't have any problem with the Dia de los Muertos card art, man. Then we get into another decade set. We have the 2000s edition from the greatest era. We've kind of got like a little bit of a circuit board theme going on in the background there. A little bit mid, but I'll give it like a C or a B tier, just because it kind of does look sick. I don't really know what a circuit board has to do with the 2000s, but I guess it kind of is what it is. A little bit mid there as we move on to the laser focus set. This is actually kind of a shame because, of course, you know, you have the color in the background with these cards that matches the card tier at Pink Diamond. I think like a 100 overall or Dark Matter laser focus card would have looked so sick with this theming. So kind of a shame that we didn't get that. But I'm going A tier with this. I think this is an easy A tier. I think that it just looks really dope. So I don't really have any complaints with that with the laser focus card art. And then we go to Barons of Ball. We're back to kind of the royalty gold, kind of just boring sort of. You have like some Roman type architecture back there with the pillar. I I don't know though, man. I think that this is just really mid. We're gonna go like D tier with that. We go over to the Lightning Strike promo. We already got the Power Surge promo in Season 1, so this kind of feels like a little bit of a cop-out. It's kind of very similar, so for that reason, I mean, they did add a little bit of green in the back, I guess, which looks all right. Um, but yeah, I'm just not really a fan of this one either. We're going to go D tier with that one as well. And then we move over into the 80s edition, man. For the 80s edition, we got some kind of rainbow colors going on in the back. We got just a lot of color overall going on with these cards right here, man. So, and then it looks like a little bit of, yeah, I mean, all that I really can recognize in this, though, is colors. I don't really see any objects, anything like that, that they were kind of going for. So, with that being said, I think I would have to go C tier with the 80s edition, man. I don't know if that's really, and then we move on to another S tier. This card itself right here, this Galaxy Opal Aura Anthony Edwards, is one of the dopest looking cards in the entire game. They chose a very good player picture. He is wearing the Timberwolf City Edition uniform. Looks absolutely elite on this card, man. We got a lot of colors going on. We definitely have some aura going on with these cards, man. So I'm gonna have to go A tier with the aura set, man. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Then we move on to the 2024 2025 storyline set. Kind of a decent idea for a set, man. I think that this was kind of a cop out, though. They should have just brought back moments. I mean, they should bring back moments of the week. They it seemed like they were a huge success in 2K20. They just refused to bring them back. It kind of seems like they were going for that sort of theme with these. But this is literally just the NBA is back card art, but they changed the colors up. So for that reason, I'm going like F tier for the 24-25 storylines card art, man. And then we move into the Season 3 rewards. We have David Robinson Galaxy Opal. I'm not a fan of this. I don't really like how this looks, man. I think I would go like a D tier with this. We got some like red cubes and stuff, and then like a key. It looks like a badly edited, like with the galaxy thing there. Why is it only like a square? I'm just not really a fan of that, man. I think that that is kind of an L, to be honest with you. And then we move over into, we have two festival drops. We have the Winter Festival and then this festival here. Kind of here we just have like some gold sparks going on. It looks all right, I guess. I'm going to have to go with like a C tier though, because there's not really anything going on besides gold sparks. Um, so yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that. And then we move over to, this is probably going to be another A tier, man. This mic drop set. I think that these cards look really dope with the gold microphones, and then you have like some sound waves or something going on in the back as well. I think that this Galaxy Opal Jalen Brunson, another card that is very, very rare, looks really, really dope. So this is probably going to have to be nature. And I like how the player model is black and white with the gold ball. I think they did a good job with that card art there. Abracadabra is the next set. Again, back with the gold, though. Like with Abracadabra, I think like pinks and blues and spells and fairy dust and whatever else, and they just went with like a gold basketball, like old school royalty looking thing again, and I just am not a fan of this, man. This does not look good at all. We're gonna go F tier with this one. Then we move over to Knockdown Knights. Let's look at this Galaxy Opal Ray Allen right here. We're kind of back with like a warrior theme with this. This looks very similar to the Ironclad card art as well, man. It looks like they honestly even reused some of the textures. So I'm going to go with a major L on this one too. This one's also going to go, we'll go D tier with that one. And then we move over into the Swish set. These ones aren't bad. They're kind of going for the comic book look again, but I think they kind of hit it a little bit more. I don't know if they hit it out of the park, but they definitely hit it into the outfield with this one as opposed to just grounding out, if you know what I'm saying, man. So, yeah, just a total comic book look on these cards, man. We got like some reds and yellows. We have like a POW type, onomatopoeia looking whatever with the swish in the top right, man. But anyway, yeah, I think that this is probably like a C or a B tier. I mean, because they definitely did a little bit better with the superhero. I'm having so much fun making this video. I hope you guys are enjoying watching this, man, if any of y'all are still here. But anyway, then we go to the Lords of Leaping. We got more royalty, man. We've got I can't remember what that symbol is called, though. That symbol has a name, but I just can't remember what it's called. Obviously, that's the symbol for, it's used in Boy Scouts. The New Orleans Saints use that symbol. It's got a name. I just can't recall what the name is off the top of my head. And then we have kind of some gold, like kind of what looks like would be at the bottom of the thing that they bring down on the stage at like a play. That's kind of what they got going at the bottom there. I'm not sure about this, though. We kind of are back with the gold and stuff. I'm going to go with a D tier on that as well. 'Tis the Season is another promo that has been super, super overdone. We got the trees going on there. We got a little bit of like a diamond something going on in the back there. I'm going to go C tier. Very, very mid on those, I would say. But then we go over to the Winter Festival. Now, the Winter Festival, this card art looks really, really sick, man. Way better than the other festival Season 3 drop. We've got some like silver ornaments. We've got some lights that aren't really overdoing it. They're kind of subtle, but they also are there, so they look pretty dope. We've got some snow falling. This is an easy A tier, man, on these festival cards. I think it looks really, really sick. I don't know how they managed to make the festival cards look better than the 'Tis the Season cards. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but they did it, man. And then we move over to the Countdown set. We got some fireworks going on. Not too bad. I mean, they've used fireworks on card art a lot, so maybe a little bit overdone, you could say. I'm going to go with like a C tier on these. I think that they're just kind of a little bit mid overall. We move over to Season 4. I can't even click on this menu, apparently, because I don't have any Season 4 rewards, so that is a little bit of an L, but I guess it is what it is. Hunt for Glory, they've done this promo a million times too, overdone, probably D tier. We go over to Explosive. I don't really know if I'm the biggest fan of this either. We've got a court in the background there, and then we've got like that orange and red theming with the court. Not very creative. I'm going to go D tier. We go over to Showstoppers. We've got kind of the stage curtain there in the background again. We've already talked about the stage curtain once. We've got some lighting going on in the background there, kind of like some lighting. It reminds me of some lighting that they'd have like backstage at a theater type of thing. Kind of getting the vibe with the border of this card art too. Just reminds me of like the movie theater, some popcorn, whatever. It is a card art that kind of brings me places. It brings me to a certain vibe. So for that alone, I will give it a B tier. Even though it's not my favorite, but if you guys know what I'm saying, I think because of that fact, it does belong in the B tier. Spin Cycle, this is pretty unique. So for the fact that it's unique, I would probably throw it in like the B tier as well, man. It's nothing really too special, but we got some, arrows, some gears. They kind of just threw a bunch of stuff together on this one. but it actually kind of works. It looks good with, I like the colors going on here with that green color. I think it looks all right, man. And then like the black and white photo with a little bit of a blue tint to it. Not going to complain about the spin cycle promo, man. And then we go over to Sweetness, man. Easy S tier. One of the best card arts of the entire year. This Dark Matter James Harden from the Sweetness set here with the candy at the bottom. We got floating candy canes. We got floating strawberries. We got floating colored basketballs. We've got a candy cane themed Sweetness on the top right. We got kind of like a confetti like cake theme with James Harden's name. Knocked it out of the park with this one, man. This could be the best card art in the entire game. And then plus we have kind of that Asian, I don't know if that was their city jersey that year. But yeah, overall, man, this card art, easy S tier. Could be the best that we've seen so far. And then we move over into another card art that is kind of underrated and it's actually kind of a W. We have Tacticians. Now we've got kind of a little bit of a map going on in the background with these ones. We've got like a castle you can see there. We've got some mountains, some rocks. We have some directional arrows that could be kind of referring to like some battle plans or something of that nature, man. So I think that this is very unique. And I think I would probably, I don't know if this is at the top of S tier, but I'm going to throw this one in S tier too, just because of the creativity and the uniqueness. So I'd very good, especially for a Tuesday drop, man, with the Tacticians promo. Then Lunar New Year, a little bit of an overdone promo as well, man. Kind of, we've seen this before, so for that fact, I'm going to go C tier. Locked in promo, we just got a basketball hoop, some bricks, and are those skyscrapers? Is that what those are in the corners? I don't know. And then some blacktop. Not the biggest fan of this one. I would throw this one in like C or D tier, man, with the locked in promo. And then we move over to Warp Zone. These cards look really sick, man. We've got kind of like a hypnotizing type thing in the background there. We've got an eyeball. We've got a clock. Kind of brings you to a vibe of like time travel, like time warp. I think is kind of what they're going for. We got a little bit of black and white going on with the player picture and everything. These are dope, man. I'm going to go A tier with these. I probably would, so... But yeah, the Warp Zone cards, those look absolutely sick. There's no doubt about that. Then over to the Finesse promo. A little bit boring here. I kind of like the color splash that matches the jersey in the back. But other than that, it's literally just white. So with like some paint, it looks like. So I don't know about these ones, man. Maybe like a C tier for the Finesse promo. All-Star 25, really not too much to talk about here. I mean, they do this promo every year. It's not really unique at all. I'd probably C tier with the All-Star cards. And then All-Star Festival, it's kind of the same thing, man. I mean, just kind of different colors, but the same theme with the stars and everything. Just not really a whole lot to talk about there. I think they both belong in C tier. Season 5 rewards. Now, we have a little bit of a comic book theme going on here, like the hero type thing. They keep trying to kind of redo what they did in 2K21, but they're never really going to match that energy. Kind of a little bit overdone with this whole type thing. So with that being said, I think that this belongs in like B tier, I would say. Over to the Unlimited promo. I mean, this is where it gets interesting because I think that you almost have to like rank the regular cards and then the headliner 100 overall with him being comic book themed. They kind of have to be separate. So we're going to go kind of based on the actual promo itself, the Dark Matters and lower, if that makes sense. They're kind of trying to go for like the lightning strike thing again here. I mean, the card looks, it's pretty eye-catching, I will say that. Maybe like a C or B tier for the Unlimited, man. Go over to Heroic. These ones are really boring. I think this is an easy like D tier for the Heroic promo. Inevitable, this could be the worst card art in the entire game. And let me explain why. You guys might be like, what? Like, what are you talking about? This isn't even bad. The colors are good, whatever. Chet Holmgren, if you zoom in on him here or look close at him, it looks like he has a booger in his nose. And it looks like it's because of the editing that they kind of did on the player picture. Chet Holmgren, it looks like literally has a booger in his nose. It looks horrible. This Lamar Odom looks absolutely horrible too. The player pictures on these cards are so bad that I think that this promo just has to be put in F tier. I mean, no doubt about that. Radioactive, they've done this theme a couple times too, but I just don't think you can really mess it up. I think you know the lime green, everything, the slime kind of type thing, and the slime splash behind J.R. Smith here. I mean, it's really hard to mess this up, but still, I think that this deserves like a B tier. I mean, I know they've redone it. I know I've been ranking, you know, redone promos a little bit low, but the radioactive theme itself is always going to be a W. I can't really hate too much. And then we go over to the Apex promo, kind of looking at like an Apex Predator type thing. We've got a fence with some barbed wire at the bottom, and then some like vines and stuff, kind of trying to depict, I think, the vibe of like a jungle animal that is enclosed at like a zoo or something, like a tiger, something like that, with the whole apex predator thing. I'm gonna give this one an A tier just because of the fact of that it's creative. We've never really seen this before, and it's not really the most eye-catching or most like beautiful card art to look at, but I think that they kind of did pretty well with the creativity on the Apex promos. So that being said, I'm going A tier. Bracket Busters, we've seen this a million times. Nothing to really go over. C tier. Bracket Busters Festival, it's kind of the same story. I mean, this card is eye-catching. It looks dope, whatever. But, I mean, we've seen this before, man. So I think it's got to go C tier. Nothing really new. Then we move over to the Torpedo. We're kind of looking at like a missile type theme going on in the back here. Like almost like an army missile type vibe going on. Again, pretty creative. Sort of a little bit boring, but I'm gonna go A tier just because again it's creative, something that we haven't seen before. Now season 6, we're going into a bunch that we have already seen already, so that'll be kind of interesting. Now the season 6 reward card art with this purple in the back, the purple player model and everything, I think it looks dope, especially with the dark matters where it's just like a explosion of purple on your screen, man. Purple's my favorite color, so maybe a little bit of bias there, but I would go A tier with the season 6 rewards. Then fan favorites. I mean, it's a promo we've already seen. I think we have to rank it in C tier, even though the card art is a W. I just think that we have to rank it in C tier because we've seen it before, man. And same with these flashcards. One thing that I do like about the flashcards, though, is they did alter the variety of the backgrounds on the player pictures. Now, this one was kind of like the 2K20 type flash background. This one was like a 2K22 type flash background. I don't know which game this was from, but they did do a bunch of different ones. So since that kind of is the case, man, I'm going to go ahead and rank this at like a B tier, I guess, even though it is something that is redone. The signature series, man, we've seen this a million times. Got to put that in C tier. Signature Series Festival. Now these cards actually, you could say that these are a little bit more unique. I think that, it is just white and black in the background, but I think that cards like this Wilt, cards like this Chris Bosch look very clean. So I guess for that being the case, I'll go ahead and put them in B tier. Prime, we've seen it a million times, man. Easy C tier. Pantheon. Now the Pantheon card art, we've seen Pantheon sets since I believe 2K20, right? I think it was either 2K20 or 2K21 that they started the Pantheon promo. It might have been 2K21. No, I think it was 2K20 actually. But it is overdone. It's a redo. It kind of gives me like a never-ending story type vibe with the pillar and the colors and everything. If you guys have ever watched that movie, um, it is a redone promo, but I think the card art for the Pantheon promo, it's always W. It always looks sick. So I'll go B tier. Glitched, kind of the same story. I mean, we've seen it before, but it looks dope with the players. Kind of the player pictures are a little bit glitched, like they're kind of in 3 different positions at once almost, if you know what I'm saying, man. So I don't know. They literally reused. This is a card that was completely reused with the player model and everything, but I'll go B tier just because it does look dope. I'm not going to deny that. We go over to the Glitch Festival. Kind of a little bit boring here with just the blue and white and everything. But I think like with this Kevin Love card specifically, this player picture that they decided to use with this jersey and everything, it looks really dope, man. So I'm not going to hate too much on these. I would probably B tier again. Out of position, we've already seen this a million times and it always looks the same. C tier. Season 7. Okay, now we start to get into more original themes. There's still some repeats left, but A little bit more original. The Season 7 reward promo, we just got the New York Knicks vibes going on. Why are they being biased to one team with these reward cards? I don't know. With that being the case, I'm going D tier. Skylines. Now, this is one of the worst pack drops of the entire year. We didn't realize it at the time, but looking back, all these cards besides maybe Franz Wagner absolutely suck. But the card art, again, kind of goes along with the theming of my channel somewhat. I'm a little bit biased to those purple and blues, man. I think that it looks really, really dope. I'm going to go S tier with these as well, with the Skylines promo. Then we move over into the downtown promo. Very, very boring. Again, we just got some bricks and a fence kind of depicting like blacktop basketball. Not really the biggest fan of these. Maybe like a D tier. Now, we're getting into now another one of the best card arts of the year. We have the Vibes card art. And these cards with this card art, man, it is a very appropriate name. Because when I look at this card art with the Ferris wheel in the background, with the colors that they are using, that is what I feel is vibes. I mean, I'm not even going to front with you right now, man. So I think that the Vibes card art belongs in the S tier for sure. Moving over into the Summer Festival, this is another easy S tier for me. Look at how dope this 100 overall Hidu Turkoglu looks. I wanted this card so bad. I had like 40 out of 50 pieces. I was just short on them. I was grinding, my butt off to get this card, but I didn't end up getting him. But yeah, I mean, we've got the pool kind of type thing going on in the background. We got the umbrella. We have the pool floaty. We have the beach ball. This card art looks so sick. Definitely belongs in the S tier. Splash Zone is another promo that we've already seen before, and it looks the same as it did when they dropped it before, so that's an easy C tier for me, man. I mean, that's kind of just the vibe that we got going here. Champions, we're kind of back with the trophy again here. A little bit boring, to be honest. I mean, they could have just not very creative, I guess, is what I would say about the Champions promo. So I'll go C tier with the Champions promo as well, man. And then we go over to the Festival of Champions, where we kind of have a little bit of just, the trophy again with a net in the background, the gold again. Just a little bit of, it's boring. And it's just boring, so I think it needs to go in the C tier as well. Then we move over into the automatic promo. I think that this card art belongs in the S tier. I really do. Because we have kind of like a shooting gallery type thing in the background there with the points and everything. It's something that you would see at like a carnival, or like they have these at, I know there's one at the Mall of America. They have these at Scheels, like the Scheels big sporting goods stores. If you have those around you guys, they usually have this kind of stuff. I think maybe at like Cabela's, like those type of stores that have these shooting gallery things, and they're really fun. And I think it's a creative idea with this automatic promo. I really just have no problem with this card art as well. I think it's very creative. I'm going to go S tier for sure. Draft picks, a little bit boring, but I think with what the theme is, and with they put all the players that are in the set kind of behind the player picture. They didn't have much to work with this being the theme, and I think with that being said, they kind of did knock it out of the park a little bit, but it still is a little bit boring, but I'll give it B tier. I'll give it B tier for the draft picks, man. And then we go over into the draft festival. These cards look pretty dope. I'm not going to lie. I like the colors that they chose. I like how it's kind of futuristic themed with the stage and everything, the stage lights and all that. I'll go A tier with the Draft Festival card art. I don't really have any problem with it at all. Then we move over into Season 8, the last season, man. We are almost through this video. Okay, yeah, so we'll do the Season 8 awards. Very boring here. We've just got some black and white with a city and everything with the rain coming down. A little bit boring, but still, I mean, the city and everything, I guess it's okay. Maybe go with a B tier on that as well. Goat Festival, really no point in talking about that. We got the Breeze card art, though. And I'm going to give the Breeze card art an A tier. We got some palms going on. We got it looks like some paint going on again with some brush strokes. And we got some pinks and some blues. Eye-catching type card art, man. Nothing like really, really crazy cool, but I think it belongs in the A tier, man, because I like the colors used. I like the vibe going on. Really no problem with that at all, man. And then we move over to the best of my team, and there is literally no card art with these cards. Like, this is literally just the 100 overall background gem thing with no picture over it. So for that, just in concept, I have to give it a D tier, but it does look cool. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't look cool with just the background, but it is very lazy. So with that being the case, I got to put a D tier. Then we go over into the fireworks card. We've seen this promo a few times. I just think it's kind of getting a little bit overdone at this point. We've seen so many cards with fireworks card art. So with that being said, I got to put it in the C tier. The glow card art, I still do not understand this promo. Can someone please enlighten me on this promo? Like, what does glow have to do with like yin yang and that type of Asian culture? Like, I'm still confused about that. I really, really am. I don't really know what that has to do with that. But I guess, maybe I'm just not aware with this card art. Maybe I'm a little bit out of touch that I don't understand this card art, but I still don't. So with that being said, I gotta go D tier with it, man. The Conquerors, people kind of claim that this card art was very boring. It kind of is in theory. I mean, we've just got black and white with the basketball and everything, but it looks very, very clean, man. So for the fact of how clean it looks, I'm gonna go B tier with the Conquerors set. Tenacious, these cards look pretty sick, man. We've got kind of the trees going on in the back, which I really, really like when they do that. Kind of the sinister Halloween looking trees. I think the Tenacious in the top right looks dope with the font that they use and everything. I'm going to go A tier with the Tenacious set. I think that that's where it belongs. We move over into the Rhythmic set. Kind of a little bit boring with these as well, but I think they're not too bad. So I'd probably go B tier. But yeah, that is all these sets. And then we move over to the Invincibles. Yes, we are going over Invincible and Go cards in this list as well. I don't know why they got away with doing the player names on them. I think it might just be laziness. But the first few Invincibles, they did do kind of the player name with that font, and then they just went over to this type of thing. But the Invincibles this year look dope. I mean, I think easy A tier. Some of the player models they use too, or player pictures, I should say, like this Evan Mobley player picture looks sick, kind of holding up that he just hit a three. What are some other good ones here? This Paul Millsap player picture looks pretty dope. Um, let's see. There's a couple others that I wanted to. This T-Mac in this specific Magic jersey always looks dope. They like using that when he's wearing that specific jersey, but it does look dope. This Yao Ming in this specific Rockets jersey looks dope. We've got there's one that really stands out. Yeah, this Dame Lillard. This is probably my favorite looking Invincible card in the game. With this jersey, I think that this card itself just looks really, really sick, man. So, yeah, one of my favorite looking cards in the entire game there with that Invincible Dame. So that is, and then the Go cards, I mean, there's really none that really, really stand out or anything. I do like the player picture that they chose for this Kristaps, though. I think this player picture is really, really dope looking. Um, this T-Mac player picture is pretty dope, too. This T-Mac player picture might be from that game where he had however many points in like 50 something seconds or whatever it was that he did. It kind of looks like it could be from that specific game, which would be pretty dope. I mean, that's one of T-Mac's most iconic moments, and I think that they were wearing white jerseys during that game. So I might just be completely, not even knowing what I'm talking about right now, but this looks like it could be from that game, and if it is, then that is really, really dope. And then we move over to page 2. Is there anything to talk about here? Not really, man. So yeah, we just talked about all the cards, all the card art this year, man. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. That was really fun to make. So if you guys did stay tuned to the end, man, I really, really appreciate you. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're bringing a lot more My Team content soon. Please make sure to leave a like on the video as well before you guys take off. And with all that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.